Hello YouTube, my name is Octopus Joey. If I had to pick a personal favorite video game system, not necessarily saying it's the best video game system ever made, I'd probably say the Gamecube. While it didn't sell extremely well during its time, it still had a lot of games which are still fun to pick up and play for 10-hour sessions before passing out and waking up the next day only to play for 5 more hours. Also, it looks like a lunchbox. So today, I'm going to count down what I think are the top 10 best GameCube games ever made. Number 10. Wario World. Ever wanted to be greedy, fat, obnoxious, and rescue some trolls or whatever they are? Well then Wario World is the game for you. While it doesn't quite live up to any of the Wario Land games, mostly because it only has 8 levels, it's still a ridiculously fun beat-em-up platformer. There are some very interesting puzzles which help you earn health upgrades and red crystals which help you progress. I would say it's as good as the Wario Land games purely because of how satisfying it is to do this, but like I said, it only has 8 levels. If you can find it cheap, go for it, but just remember, it only has 8 levels. Number 9. Mario Party 4. Generally considered the best Mario Party game on the GameCube, I personally think that Mario Party 4 is up there with the first 3 on the Nintendo 64. Maybe not quite as good, but not far behind. This game is definitely more like the Nintendo 64 Mario Party games than any other Mario Party game on the GameCube. One reason is because it actually has items, whereas every other game after that, aside from DS, has some sort of gimmick to replace items. Items made the game feel like the designers used some imagination. Capsules and candies made it feel like they got bored and stopped trying. Another reason it feels more like the Nintendo 64 games is that the 1 vs 3 minigames are actually balanced, unlike Mario Party 5. Also, this was the last Mario Party game where Donkey Kong was a playable character. Number 8. Luigis Mansion. Imagine Mario combined with Resident Evil, Luigi combined with Resident Evil, but instead of having your flesh eaten, you just kind of flip over and start crying, and instead of shooting zombies, you suck up ghosts, and money, and dust. This game is absolutely packed with secret ways to earn money, which determines your final score in the end. From the hidden speedy spirits, to the golden mice, to even an entire secret room full of money. Why wasn't Wario in this again? This is a really awesome game from start to finish, and I would have put it higher on the list if it was a bit longer. This game can easily be beaten in a day or two. Number 7. Mario Kart Double Dash. Mario Kart Double Dash, in my opinion, is the best Mario Kart game to this day, and is definitely a major improvement over Mario Kart 64. The controls are actually analog controls instead of digital controls on an analog stick, the physics make sense and are actually possible to use to your advantage, the 3D models are actually 3D models and not sprites, and the computer players don't have magic teleporting abilities. New to the game, you race with 2 characters instead of 1, you have different choices of cards, and every character has a special item that they can possibly get in item boxes. And since you can choose 2 characters, that's 2 choices of special items. I usually go with Toad and Petey Piranha. That way your special items are a golden mushroom and a random selection of any special item. In addition, your cart will be heavy enough to knock people off Rainbow Road. Number 6. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Probably the most underrated game of the 6th generation, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom is an awesome 3D platformer that really is up there with games like Super Mario Sunshine, Banjo-Kazooie, and Donkey Kong 64. The amount of effort that clearly went into this game is extremely surprising for a game based off a TV show. Everything good about SpongeBob and everything good about 3D platformers is present here. If you have a GameCube, PS2, or Xbox and like the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob, I highly recommend buying this game. Number 5. Animal Crossing. You know what isn't fun? Life. You know what is fun? Virtual life. In Animal Crossing, you start out by getting a job and paying off a house loan, but you also make friends with animals. While the original isn't as good as the modern Animal Crossing games, mostly because of the lack of any sort of online features, there are things about the original Animal Crossing that I really wish would return. For example, being able to ask your friends what you can do to help, while really you just want whatever they'll give you in return. I'd really like to see that return. Another thing is the NES games. Unfortunately, I don't think that'll ever return because the Virtual Console exists now. Also, in my opinion, this game has the most memorable music of any Animal Crossing game. Now, the lack of online is literally the only thing that makes this game feel like it's aged at all. Being able to visit other people's towns while said people are with you in their town has been a standard in Animal Crossing ever since Wild World. Other than that, the first Animal Crossing makes for a fantastic experience. Number 4. Super Mario Sunshine. A few of you may disagree, but in my opinion, Super Mario Sunshine is one of the best 3D platformers of all time. Everything that's sometimes considered a complaint about this game, I love it. Having to go through the whole game with a water jetpack, I love it. The departure from the Mushroom Kingdom, I say it gives it some variety. Having to collect blue coins, they're optional. And I still love it. The voice acting? It sounds exactly how I'd imagine all the characters to sound. Glitching through everything? Okay, I don't love that. But still, I really don't see how someone couldn't love this game. This game is the original Assassin's Creed. Number 3. Super Smash Bros. Melee. You know, I'll never forget the day this happened. Number 2. Paper Mario, The Thousand-Year Door. While I personally like the first Paper Mario game better for nostalgia, I will admit, its sequel, Paper Mario, The Thousand-Year Door, is technically superior in just about every way. Party members have their own health instead of just kind of being stunned every time they get hit. There are unlockable abilities, there's a very satisfying counterattack, and the game actually has a story. A story! In a Mario game! The writing in this game is awesome. The characters are likable, and there's actually some character development throughout the game. This is, in my opinion, without a doubt, the best Mario RPG ever made. Number 1. Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. How could I not give the number 1 spot to a game that emulates the feeling of going on an adventure perfectly, has very memorable dungeons with very memorable puzzles, has amazing music, and an awesome story while also giving you a ton of side quests to do. Kinda like with Super Mario Sunshine, I love everything about the game that's commonly complained about. The silly art style? It's cartoony, yes, but it gives you a lot of time to get used to it before expecting you to take it too seriously. The tedious sailing? It gives you a lot to look at and gives you an awesome feeling of adventure. A really long required quest involving finding the same thing over and over while paying a creepy guy in green pajamas a crap ton of money? Okay, I don't love that. But other than that, this game captures everything great about Zelda perfectly. Great dungeons, great music, great characters, great combat, great feel. It's just simply great. And that's my list of the top 10 GameCube games. If you didn't see your favorite GameCube game on here, it's probably because I haven't played it. Let me know what I'm missing in the comments, and I'll probably buy it eventually. Maybe. Probably not.